Hello there. What is going on, everybody? We are going to be looking at something very cool today because I've recently started playing a game that I absolutely fell in love with, and I wanted to share it with you from Tuesday Night Games. It's a game by Anthony Birch. It's called World Championship Russian Roulette. This is a 2 to 6 player game, plays in about 20 to 30 minutes, and is designed to give you a lot of fun. It's a little bit sensitive subject matter, so it's ages, I think, 12 and up, but this one really is, it's just quick, simple fun with a surprising amount of strategy, depth, and hilarity can definitely ensue. It's a press your luck game where you are playing as a team of finalists in the World Championship of Russian Roulette, where you are bidding on how many pulls of the trigger you're going to have before brains kind of get exploded on the floor. Of course, there's no real brains in here. It's all simulated. It uses card draws. There's no actual guns in here. You have the option to kind of stick your fingers to your head as you flip over cards and have the moment of truth on whether or not you survive to pull another round. It has player elimination and also has a distinct winner at 15 points. So it's victory points, press your luck, a little bit of bluffing in here. So a lot of fun with this game. It's super cool. I'm gonna show you guys how it plays, and if you like it, there'll be a link in the video description below. So in this game, you are going to be bringing a team that is going to be indicated by a certain color. There are 6 different colors, but we're showing here blue, yellow, and purple. You're going to have a reference card, which is also considered your pocket, as well as different tiles for your 4 different teammates, 3 regular teammates and 1 captain. These are represented as lives. You are going to have basically 4 lives, so it's possible to fail in your particular hand of Russian roulette while still being in the game. Of course, once your 3 teammates are eliminated and only your captain remains, once that captain is eliminated, then your entire team is out, and then you are out of the game. You're also going to have a die, which you will use to make a wager. It's a 6-sided die, and you will wager however many pulls you think you are going to get until you stop and either live and score points or blow your brains out and flip that over. So what will happen is there are 6 different phases. There is the pocket phase. Every player is going to have 6 of these blank click cards, and these are represented an empty round in the chamber. You will also take 1 bang card, which is bad, and you will choose 1 of these cards and put them in your pocket. You are supposed to put a click in your pocket, but it is possible for you to cheat. So you could say you're going to put the bang in your pocket, and you could have just 6 click cards. You'll do this in secret, and of course, if you put the bang in your pocket, you are cheating according to the game's rules, although you're not really cheating with the rules, you're cheating within the rules of the game, but you are at risk of being called out when the challenge phase comes. So in this case, we'll say that I just put my normal bang in my deck and I'm playing honorably. Then there's the spin phase where every player will shuffle their decks. This is the equivalent of spinning the revolver. Then there is a bidding phase where we will all secretly say, how many pulls do I want to do? You'll put your die down. Maybe I'll say I'm only going to do 2 pulls, and then you cover it up. And when everybody's ready, we all reveal. And let's just say blue said they were going to try and do 5 pulls, and yellow said they were only going to do 2 pulls along with me. I might look to blue and say, boy, that's awfully risky that you think you're going to be able to make 5 pulls. I suspect that perhaps you put your bang card in your pocket. Then it comes to the challenge phase where we can make accusations. I can accuse you of cheating. You can accuse me of cheating. There are consequences to that, though. For example, if I accuse Blue of cheating and it turns out that he was right, he reveals a bang in his pocket, a bullet in his pocket, then he is instantly dead. He is eliminated from the game, and I will gain 3 action cards as a result. Action cards are these really cool deck of cards. I'm going to talk about those in a minute. However, if I was wrong, he gets a 1 action card for free, and then I have to take a second bang and load that into my gun. We're replacing one of my empty click chambers, and now I might have 2 in there. Now it's gonna be much harder for me to survive. And I've already bid 2, so now I can't change my bid at this point. So it's pretty pretty risky. Next comes the trigger phase, where we're all going to pull the trigger at the same time. We'll all get our decks. We'll have the option to, put our little finger guns to our heads if we want. And we say 1, 2, 3, flip, boom. And oh, if you pull a bang, you are eliminated. Yet character dies. You flip this over, and then you gain an action card for having a dead character. When you die, you can reset your gun back to the default configuration. So I can take that bang out of there. I can put my regular click back in and start fresh. Basically, a new teammate member shows up with a clean slate. But if I survived and I got all of my stuff done and I did not die, I will get 1 point for surviving plus 1 point for every number that was on my die. And we use little bullet tokens to represent those points. There's little silver 1s, and then there's a golden 5. And so whoever gets to 15 points first wins. If 2 players both get 15 points at the same time, whoever was higher wins. So it's possible to exceed 15 and still win. And then we go back and forth doing that over and over again. Let's talk about the action cards. And the action cards are really cool. There are a ton of different action cards. They all change the game. And this is one of the things that makes the game so much more interesting, because they all tell you exactly when you can use them. And again, you only get these by either dying or being accused of cheating, or accusing somebody else of cheating and being right. So you normally don't get them. You don't start with any action cards, but these can totally change things. For example, you might get the air gun card that when you are doing when you're pulling the trigger, you can play this during the trigger phase, and you get to, for one pull, right before you pull, you say aim your gun into the air instead of at yourself for the next trigger pull. And so you can always say pause before everybody shoots, because that's why we all shoot at the same time. So you can do that. And this also can combo well with certain other cards, especially if there's certain cards that allow you to peek at maybe your top card that you're going to be drawing from. There's the die dice that says choose any player. The player must roll their bidding die. The result is their new bid. This is especially good if somebody bids only like a 0 or a 1 or a 2. Or something like that. You can say, no, you have to roll it, and they may end up with a 5 and almost certainly to die. Or maybe somebody is feeling really risky and they did a 5, and now you want to make them roll because maybe they know there's no bullets in their deck, or they have special cards that are going to let them skip, like basically to survive the shot. There's cards that will let them do that. You can have them roll it, and all of a sudden, oh, that was a 5 again. Maybe it's only worth 3 now. But it's a way to add a little bit of randomness into the game. What is really nice, there's a bullet time you can play at the beginning that just screws somebody else over, and they have to put a second bullet in their gun for no good reason. So it's got a little bit of take that. Like this one here. All living players aim their gun at a player of their choice instead of at themselves for the next trigger pull. So everybody decides who is going to get the results of whatever the next card is. This one is very chaotic, and these are all really, really cool. Peek the Boo, which is a really nice one, says you may look at the top 3 cards of your gun deck, then choose another player. That player may look at the top 1 card of their gun deck. This is an especially cool card because this one, it can be used to justify a really high bid. You play this before you bid. Now, if you're going to lie and put your bullet in your pocket and make sure that you have nothing bad there, this might be a good excuse for you bidding a higher number, and maybe you won't get called out for cheating because people will think, oh, hey, he wouldn't have cheated and you played this at the same time. So there's mind games that you can play when these action cards come into play. There's a ton of them. You can even make somebody pull their trigger an extra time, even more than they wanted to. There's all kinds of really cool stuff that you can have. Aim at another player instead of yourself for the next trigger pull. And you can play as many of these as you want, as long as the timing for them all works out. So I could bid 5. If I have 5 bang yous, I'm going to point at somebody else for all 5 of my pulls, which is extremely crazy. And there is no 6 on the die as well. There is a 0, so it's 0 through 5. World Championship Russian Roulette is an extremely fun game. You can play it with only 2. You can play it with as many as 6. I have played it multiple times with 3 people, and it feels very, very good. I think it works better at higher player counts, but still, it just has all the right feels to make it feel fun and quick playing, and a little bit tactical, but also have just enough chaos thrown in there that it just leaves everybody smiling. Even if you lose, you tend to have a really good time, and that is definitely one of the hallmarks to a great game, and I very much enjoy it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. This one came in a bundle of a lot of cool games from Tuesday night games, such as 2 Rooms and a Boom, Werewolf in the Dark, and That's Not Lemonade. And well, they're all awesome games. This is one that I find that I can probably play with just about any number of people. It's harder to get the big party games going when you usually only have a handful of people, like something like 2 Rooms and a Boom. A little bit harder to really pull that one off on most game nights. But this one is, I feel, one that you can probably do just about any time. I plan on bringing this to Adepticon with me and maybe getting some impromptu World Championship Russian roulette from time to time, maybe in a spare evening or after a few beers. Might be a really fun game to play, or even with the kids, if you don't mind the fact that it does involve a little bit of pretend gunplay, so it might be a little bit mature for certain households. That's the only real the only drawback potentially. But despite all that, lots and lots of fun. Definitely recommend it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. The spice must flow. You can't take the sky from me. And always wash your socks.